To provide security services for the 2012-2013 and 2013-2014 school years of public safety and security per bid specifications at a cost per hour of $12.75 for a guard and $12.95 for a supervisor.
Should we do all these, you want to read the motions all one time,
I
or
got
one at a
a
time?
phone.
Okay, maybe we should do one at a time.
So do I.
Okay.
All right. Did we look at doing it, do we have an escape clause in here? To make changes, to cancel?
I mean, there is no contract right now. I mean, they just bid us an hourly rate.
I guess.
There's no contract. You would have to, if we wanted something like that, you'd have to
Can we put
do a
something
contract.
in there for like 90 days?
I mean, that's, you know, that's something Dawn would have to work on for us. Yeah.
Well, I mean, we have to say if they're not performing according to specs, yeah, that we could terminate the contract. In other words, you put in, it would be a material breach if they don't do this. And you can terminate the contract 60 days.
How would you set up the validity of the conditions? I mean, you'd have to have some specific conditions that they have to meet.
He did the specs, whatever the specs are, they gotta follow.
Okay, what if you just say, for whoever it is, we're not happy with the way they're providing security, we have issues. That doesn't sound to me like that's a good enough reason to make a contract change. How would we put those specific items in there? Mark, are you looking it up, I guess?
According to your
We don't have the
specifications.
specs in here, we just have their bids.
Oh, you just asked for an hourly bid? Well, you put anything.
No, we
you
put
want.
out specs. There are specs we just
Yeah.
on in here.
Okay, whatever the specs are, you know, that have to follow, whatever they are,
That's what it says for bid specifications, so.
whatever they are. I don't know what they are.
Well, it sounds like there's specific.
Oh, we don't have to. I mean, we've just done it in the past.
Why, I got problems with this company. Why West Hampton get rid of them?
I don't know.
Well, if we had an escape clause in there, we could,
That's why I'm.
well, even, can you just make it a unilateral reason? We just don't want to continue to use the
You
service?
just don't like them?
Well, if you, otherwise you're gonna have to spell out all the conditions,
No.
and that could be pretty difficult, I would think. Could it be unilaterally canceled by either party within, you know, or by us within so many days?
Only if it was in the specifications.
Okay.
I mean, you know, what you're talking about is a material breach of the specifications, and you can cancel the contract. There are specs that says either party can cancel at will within, by giving notice of, 90 days, 6 months, whatever it is, 180 days, 4 months. And that way, if the person does, if the company does want to bid under those conditions, they don't bid.
Is this something
Want to
we're allowed to
incorporate
do now?
You
Well,
can't,
that's the
you can't add that into the contract because it wasn't.
Not,
in the
if it wasn't in the specs,
Yeah,
you
you
No,
can't.
not now, because you put the specs out, then they bid.
Specs were out
on-
before they
On
bid.
what it says in there.
Yeah.
You have to go by whatever the specifications have required.
How many guards are they gonna send down?
What'd your
Well,
spec say?
I think the specs.
Our specs was for 5 guards and 1 supervisor.
How many into the middle?
Well, we determine when they get in the building where they're going. Yeah, the principals determine also from the 3 of them. Kevin, Brian, and Scotty, where they need the help the most.
Why are we doing 2 years?
Well, that's.
Not one.
So we don't have to bid it every year.
But you're stuck with
Yeah.
the company without a clause for 2 years.
That's, I mean,
You're
that was,
literally
if we
stuck.
want to throw all these bids out and start over, we can do that.
I'm all for that.
We will have to,
Just to make that one change. that
we
would
will
be-
have to contract with Victory to stay on.
Well, I thought they were month to month anyway.
They had a 2-year contract, just like we did, like we're talking about here.
It says last week.
Well, we can continue them, but we're gonna have to,
Do a monthly,
Yeah.
month-to-month contract with them.
yeah, I mean, they'll continue to do the service, but we'll have to pay
Well,
them.
I make a motion to take it.
Yeah, I'll second that motion.
We can throw them all out, write new specs and see what you get. So you're talking about new company, no
Well, then
company,
you're
no
not
bid
making a,
on
if they're doing that, you're not making a motion to to table, you're making a motion to reject all.
Right, and reject all bids.
I'm making a motion to reject it.
Well, why don't we
just
why
have
don't we
a
wait to see
second
what the specs are?
and vote yes or no? If everybody votes no, then they won't get the contract. Right?
Then you gotta do it over again anyway, yeah.
Okay.
Either way,
Well, can we wait another week?
I'm thinking maybe the specs
Yeah.
as written, I'm not familiar with them, maybe the specs as written meet.
There's no escape clause in the specs, I can tell you that.
Are the specifications, do you know what they are? I mean, how can we hold them accountable? What are we holding them accountable for? I should ask.
For providing a supervisor that's certified,
Yeah?
providing guards for the district from whatever, I think we had 7 to 3, daylight 2 to 10 night turn. There's nothing that,
There's no performance to
there's no performance stuff in the specs.
And that's the one that we would be concerned with the most, and how do you write that in there?
you
Yeah,
can't write it if it's not in the specs.
It's,
He said
How do you measure it? I mean,
that's a good
if
question.
you want performance specs, you have to be able to measure it. Who's
Yes.
gonna measure it and how?
We'll know when we see it.
See, that's, I mean, you can't do that.
Unless we
He
have
said
an
he
escape
comes
clause.
in and he evaluates his men.
Yeah, but he does that, we don't.
Yeah,
You could
right.
put in, you could actually put in your specs just a plain old, that either party can cancel this contract within so many days' notice.
Yeah, we can put that.
For no reason at all.
That's probably, I think, what you proposing that?
I'm proposing.
I just have a question. When we post for bids, do we state that the board has a right to reject any
Yes.
and all bids?
Yes.
We do
Yes.
state
You
that.
can do
Okay, I
that.
just want to make
We
sure we
put
have
that in every
there.
one of our,
Okay.
So if you're gonna reject all bids, just do it.
yeah, so make a motion,
We can just
second, and
reject
vote
all
on it.
bids.
See if you got 5 votes.
Mhm.
Make a motion to reject all bids.
I second that.
Roll call.
That's his motion is all, okay. Okay, Mr. Bages?
No. I mean, oh, yes. Oh,
Yes.
Mr. Bells?
He's gonna vote no.
Mrs. Kiefer?
Yes. You guys have me confused
Mr.
that
Terry?
part.
Yes.
Ms. Youngblood?
Yes.
Mr. Natale?
Yes.
Mrs. Cannon?
Yes.
Okay.
What about that?
Yeah, I heard you said. Okay, so we'll have to, I guess you want to write us new specs and we'll have to.
We'll do
we
the
have-
specs.
Just that one
We'll just,
change, right?
we'll just throw everybody out in 60 days if we feel like it.
There you go.
So while we're doing this,
I think we should
does
do more of that.
anybody want to entertain a 1 or 2 year?
Well, that's just it.
1 year.
We'll know if we see it.
1 year
We'll
contract.
go to the
I don't know
principal.
where we're gonna be next year.
Yeah, just a 1 year contract.
Let's just be sure of what we want.